In Mobile, Alabama, we are fortunate to have an abundant supply of water. However, getting that water from the source into the homes and businesses is hard work and takes time, energy, and money. We hope to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the complexity of this process and the effort required to get water from our source to homes and businesses where it is used in our daily lives. There's a lot that goes into turning on the faucet and having good, clean water available. Please enjoy our series on what it takes to keep water working. Under the streets and sidewalks of our city, there are enough water pipes and wastewater pipes laid back to back to make a trip to Los Angeles and halfway home to Mobile. Half of them are 50 or more years old, and if it is wastewater, the problems often multiply. To give an idea of what MAWS has to prepare for and deal with, wastewater contains hydrogen sulfide, which can erode concrete after constant exposure.
The water system, and the wastewater system for that matter, goes back to a point in time when some of these earlier pipes were installed. We were actually riding horses in Mobile. And some of our water lines are more than 100 years old. And so we go back to the late 1800s when water lines and so forth were installed. And like anything else, they get old, they age, and they need to be renewed or replaced. For decades, we've patched pipelines and so forth, and like a tire, you can patch it once and that might be okay. You can patch it twice and you might still be okay, but by the time you patch it the third and fourth time, it loses its integrity and it loses its ability to provide you the service that it was intended, and ultimately it has to be replaced. The same thing is true with an automobile. We buy an automobile, it's reliable for a period of time, then it needs repairs and we make repairs, but after a time it gets to a point where it's reached its useful life. It's no longer reliable and it has to be replaced. Well, what we know is, especially with automobiles and the same thing with infrastructure, when it needs to be replaced, it costs far more to replace it than what it cost to originally purchase it. And that's what we're faced here in this utility.
Technology for protecting and maintaining the delivery system infrastructure is very good and getting better. MAWS has incorporated technology where possible, and the cost savings and efficiency have been impressive. However, much of the current technology is not viable because some parts and pieces of the MAWS infrastructure have outlived their usefulness.
You can only repair things for so long, and then you get to the point of having to actually replace that. And it is a challenge because you're digging up streets, which inconveniences people. It's very costly to replace that pipe. But after a period of time, you have to get to that. Now, if there's a pipe that breaks down on the street today, we'll go out and look at that. If we're able to, we'll put a repair band on that, which will hold it for a good period of time. After a while, though, if you continue to have breaks on that same line, you have to get to the point of replacing that pipe totally. And again, this is a challenge that we face in this utility, and quite frankly, it's a challenge that all water utilities around the country are dealing with today.
Have you ever wondered, where does one go to purchase a water tower? There's not a store, and to install one, the cost estimate is certainly not inexpensive. It is just an indication that despite high-profile, giant reminders like water towers, as citizens, we can take a basic source of survival for granted. Most of MAWS infrastructure we never see, unless a street is being excavated. Next in our series, we will head to a place we don't often think about: MAWS wastewater treatment plants. For more information, please visit keepwaterworking.com.